Welcome to Maplewoodian.com podcast. We're joined by Jim Robertson, one of the top organizers of Maplewoodstock. How you doing, Jim?
Good. How are you, Joe?
Great. Well, it's the 11th year, and no looking back here. I love these T-shirts. If people haven't seen them, the homage to Spinal Tap with the dial that goes to 11. That's a great.
Yeah, it is. In our 11th year, we are turning it up a notch. You know, always trying to look at ways to make the festival. Again, not necessarily bigger, but better. You know, better for our audience of neighbors and friends.
And, of course, there was a great insert in the news record, and I'm sure elsewhere this will be found. Maplewoodstock up a notch for 11th year. Of course, the first groups go on at noon Saturday all the way till 10:30 p.m., and then Sunday also at noon, a little earlier. It ends 9:30 with, of course, Puss in Boots. That's the great group, Nora Jones, and joined by Sasha Dobson and Catherine Popper. They all have their own great musical histories. But you're going to start on Saturday with Roll On 2, Teenage Rap Rockers, which from Columbia High School I see on the list. What is it about, maybe for those who haven't gone to Maplewoodstock, what would you say? I mean, I could brag on and on about how much we love it, but what do you think it sort of has become that people who maybe don't know about it should know and give them a reason to come and try it?
Well, first of all, it's free.
Free is good.
Yes, it is also family friendly, and it's a great gathering of the Maplewood community. Friends you know from over the backyard fence, or people from the pool, or who you see around town, and it's a lot of volunteers helping to put it on. That helps keep it free. It's just a great afternoon into the evening of people chilling out on the hillside there in Maplewood Memorial Park with picnic baskets and letting the kids explore the kids zone with the bouncy rides and the face painting. The adults going up at times to the beer garden that we offer. Availing themselves of the food vendors and buying some art too from our past. We've had up to 50 different arts vendors from local and regional area offering their stuff. So it's just a great relaxing afternoon to catch up with friends and neighbors. I know there's people who plan their summers around it. No, let's move our vacation. We got to be here in town for Maplewoodstock weekend.
Right, and of course, now is Jamie Ross from Maplewood Online? He's still one of the major organizers.
Yep, Jamie Ross is on the organizing committee, along with there's 8 or 9 of us all told.
And I also know our friend Drew Dix is one of the main guys as well.
Yes.
In addition to yourself and many others. Now I remember this started as a 1-day event with a few bands, and it's grown to 2 days and a lot of vendors, a lot of sponsorship. I think when it really got big with so many vendors and sponsors, some people were sort of worried that it would get too big, but I don't think that's really happened.
I don't think so either. I think that we don't really look to advertise it outside of the community.
It's still very much a local event.
Right, and I think that the venue itself, the hill there, in Memorial Park, kind of helps keep a cap on it. The hill is usually fully packed by 5 o'clock in the afternoon each of the days, and it's just hard to imagine getting a whole lot more people in. But you are right; its origins were basically in a half a dozen bands or more on a Saturday afternoon. We kind of built the stage and then tore it down at the end of the day. As we've improved the festival, we have moved on to professional sound people with a professional stage that we pay to help make the sound and staging as quality as we can. And we, of course, fund that through the fundraising that we do in terms of the T-shirt sales, the fees we collect from our food vendors and arts vendors and other sponsorships.
Right, and you have a good handful of corporate sponsorship at Investors Bank on the program and others, and this really covers the cost, which can be pretty high. I mean, you don't pay every band the same, but you got big names, and they have to be paid what they're worth. And does the cost cover what it needs to? Does it make money, lose money, or kind of break even?
It breaks even every year, and we structure it that way. I mean, we have a little bit in the bank to tide us over in case of something unforeseen. But honestly, we have a budget every year. The committee gets together in December or January to start kicking it off, and we look at the headline bands that we want to attract, and you're right, we do pay our 2 or 3 headline or featured acts. All the other bands are volunteers, just like the committee members and others.
Sure.
This year we are proud to have a new sponsor in Overlook Medical Center.
Yes, I saw that on the main page. Of course, let's give a plug. Maplewoodstock.com is the website to go to, and I know there's a big sponsorship there from Overlook, and they have a big sponsorship page in the program, which is really interesting. Of course, people may not know they have a couple offices in Maplewood as well. They think of Overlook as being in Summit.
Yeah, they're looking to they're opening some offices or have opened some offices in Maplewood, and we connected with them about a sponsorship, and again they are local, so our sponsorships are generally local businesses. Atlantic Healthcare is our quote-unquote headline sponsor this year, stepping forward with some additional funds that we haven't had in the past that help us, again, to continue to craft the event to be as good as we can provide, free for and of the community. But, we're not looking to be Budweiser Presents. Nothing against Budweiser, but there's no connection to our community, So Overlook is local. They're opening up some offices. We've had, just looking to try to make this be an oven for the community event.
And then the vendors, as you mentioned earlier, there's a lot of arts vendors. Tell us about why that's an important element, where you have people really selling artwork, selling T-shirts, selling really grassroots kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, we thought, some years ago when we started expanding it from just being the music to, we just thought that with all the talent that is in the community, there's so many people we know who are, artisans or jewelry makers or photographers or painters, that it would be great to have this not just be about the artistry of the music, but be about, other arts. And we think that, and we know that plenty of our attendees are willing to help support these local artists and want to, fill their homes, with great local art. And whether it's, homemade T-shirts that people are making, or whether it's, high-end photographs, or whether it's, jewelry. There's just a wide array of local and regional artists, and we just thought that would just make a nice way to expand the offerings of what you can do that day.
Now, obviously, this is a free event, but money is welcomed. If people want to donate, they can buy the merchandise. There's the lawn signs, there's the T-shirts. But then if they just say they just want to donate money online, they go to your website and can do that, or?
There is a link, yeah. When you go to, you mentioned before, Maplewoodstock.com, there is a link on the right-hand side for donate. You can go through PayPal. We certainly appreciate any donations.
I do see it. Okay, the donate sign is there. I see. It's right on the right side.
Nothing that we want to try to over promote, because we do want people to come to this festival and just enjoy themselves, and we really want this to be a win-win for everybody. That if people want to spend money, we say, look, spend it at the food vendors there, spend it at the arts vendors, support them.
Excellent.
They're paying a fee, to be there, and it works for them, because if they, people are making purchases, and so we've got people who've come back year after year, and those vendor fees help us to provide the free event, and in turn they're getting a lot of traffic and a lot of people in the community interested in supporting the arts. And supporting their friends and neighbors who are into the arts.
Excellent. Again, we're talking to Jim Robertson from Maplewoodstock. I know you have to go, but let me ask you 2 quick things. First of all, how do you go about choosing the bands? Because it's always such a great mix, blues and ethnic groups and R&B. reggae. I mean, there's something for everyone. But obviously, you must get a lot of bands who want to perform and don't make the cut. What sort of goes into trying to choose?
Yeah, so I mean, for the headline bands, the committee usually, kicks around some ideas. Obviously, they have to be bands that fit within our budget, and we take feedback, both that come in through, the email account, maplewoodstock@gmail.com, or through our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/maplewoodstock. And we do some negotiation and see where we can find, the 2 or 3 or 4 headline bands, and try to curate a program that, as you say, does offer a variety of music. When you add in the local bands, we have an application process that runs usually every year, mid-February to mid-March or so, in which we have at times upward to 80 bands submit a song file that we can listen to and some information about them. And we have a music selection committee. We take into account, the style of music, the quality of the music, how many times the bands have played before, their ties to the local community, and we just, again, try to curate a nice mix. I think we've diversified the offerings a bit over the years so that it's not all rock and roll. We do have, some R&B, as you said. We've had world music, reggae. I don't think we're necessarily looking to put on, a chamber orchestra, right? Or maybe, a Dixieland jazz band, because there is a little bit of sort of cohesiveness to presenting an outdoor festival that kind of comes across, speaks big across the hill and the stage. But yeah, we're always looking to kind of fine-tune our selection.
And then, so I count about 25 bands that will be performing?
Yes.
And then out of how many that apply?
So there's, like I said, normally we have somewhere between 65 and 80 bands.
Oh my God!
Applying to our so it's a tough job at times to make that selection. And I'm not on the selection committee, but I appreciate my colleagues on the committee that goes through that every year.
Excellent. Of course, the beer garden. I think this is the 3rd year of the beer garden. That's been people were a little unsure about it when it started, but I think it's always gone well. There hasn't been any kind of problems with people drinking too much or anything, or a mess being made or anything. And it's this Climax beer from Roselle Park, which I certainly tried. That's an interesting approach.
2nd or 3rd year providing the beer. Right, there is a beer garden up at the top of the hill that is in its 3rd year, and something we tried, again, our way to see, is there more that we can bring to this festival? Are there tweaks we can make to improve it? First year was a pilot, it seemed to go well.
Yeah.
We're now in our 3rd year, and it's a nice alternative for people who do want to get away from their picnic blankets and have a cold beer or socialize. And of course, the beer garden also helps to fund the event as well.
Yes, and you're not without being in earshot of the music, which is the important thing. You can definitely keep listening to the music. What do you think, and we'll let you go after this, again, this is Jim Robertson, one of the Maple Woodstock organizers. What do you think is the biggest difference this year? Anything that's changed, either more of or less of something, or any even small changes?
Well, I think the template is there, I think that, it's just a little bit of tweaks here and there. Our sponsor, primary sponsor, Overlook Medical Center, has helped us just increase the budget a little bit more.
Excellent.
So we're able to bring in, a Puss in Boots or a Robert Randolph that we maybe couldn't have afforded in the past years. The stage might be just a touch bigger.
Excellent.
The sound quality should be a little bit better because the speakers now, rather than sort of resting on the ground or being raised from the ground up actually going to be hanging from the stage, so there'll be more of a direct line of sound out to the participants. So little tweaks. I'm not thinking people are going to notice anything tremendously different, but but again, it's tweaks here and there. Let's see if we can improve this. Let's see if we can do that, but as I say, the template is there for what we're offering now.
Excellent. Well, again, this is thanks to Jim Robertson from Maplewoodstock for talking with us. It's once again a reminder you can get there. The show begins promptly at noon on Saturday and rolls all the way till Saturday night, and then Sunday again at noon and finishes up around 9:30 probably or 10. And always the best. Another great thing is to follow Maplewoodstock on Twitter and on the Facebook page for any kind of changes or updates.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, it's a great place to keep an eye out during the day of the events or right before.
The event is, just in closing, the event is rain or shine. We have a covered stage. Last year we had rained for about half an hour and the music kept playing. And
it was great.
Kind of huddled under their blankets or went up under the trees for a bit. The only time we would really stop things if it was violent thunderstorms.
Right, but I think you said online that the weather looks good. Looks a little warm. It's going to be warm, but definitely not rainy or anything.
Yeah, bring out, bring your sunscreen, and if you do want to get like up to the minute, quote unquote, updates on what bands are heading onto the stage, or if we are in a rain delay, you can follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/MapleWoodstock, and you don't have to be a Twitter user. You can just
absolutely
twitter.com.
And we'll be tweeting as well, probably at least some of the time here at Maplewoodian. But again, thanks, Jim, and we're looking forward to another the 11th great year, turning up a notch. Maplewoodstock. Come early, stay late, and make sure again to help support all the sponsors and the vendors when you're there, and enjoy some good music.
Absolutely. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you very much. Be well.